Hi everybody. The rest of the semester, 14 days, is going to be review. So we're going to be doing graphing linear equations and solving systems. So we're starting at the beginning, Math 1. We're going to do linear, and then we're going to do quadratic. And then we'll see how much time there is after that. So the first part is graphing, and the second part is solving systems of equations. It says, sketch the graph of each line on problems 1 through 6. Give the x and y intercepts, because that's the way we're going to graph them, is using the x and y intercepts. On problems 7 through 10, give the slope and y-intercept, because it's in slope-intercept form. This is in standard form. Ax plus by equals c. And what you do is you make x 0. So I cover it up. And when x is 0, what's y? You solve that equation and you get -3. 6 divided by -2 is -3. So 0, -3 is the y-intercept. And for the x-intercept, you make y 0, so you cover it up, and it says x equals 6. 6, 0. And then you use something straight, a ruler, ID card, whatever. So that's our line, and we gave the y-intercept and the x-intercept as ordered pairs. So that's the first couple problems. So let me circle the ones that we do, and you'll do the rest for homework. It's going to be due Wednesday at 10, so you have a little bit of time to do it. We're going to do number 7. This is in slope intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. So the slope m is -1/1, and b, the y-intercept, is 3, so it's 0, 3, because it's a y-intercept on the y-axis, 0, 3, and the slope is -1. So how do we move for a slope of -1? Down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. And we graph the line. So those are the two kinds of graphing problems that you'll be doing. And the next, we're solving systems of equations. And there are two ways to solve them. The first way is by substitution. And when you solve by substitution, you need to solve for one variable in terms of the other variable. And usually there's a 1 coefficient for the variable we're going to use. For example, y is 1y. So if we move the x to the other side, we get y equals x. So everywhere you see a y, what can you put in? X. So you get -x equals 3, x equals -3, and y equals x. So it's negative 3, negative 3. And if you want to check your answers, you can do negative negative 3, which is 3, plus negative 3 is 0. Yes. And then negative 21 plus 24, because negative and negative 3 is 3. It works. So for like number 12, we're going to use the bottom equation, and we're going to do x equals what? Seven y plus 20, because that's the variable that has the 1 for the coefficient, and then we'll substitute it up into here. Wherever there's an x, you put 7y plus 20 in for the x, and then once you find x, then you substitute it back. Once you find y, you substitute it back in to find out what x is. So those are some substitution problems that you're going to be doing. And then for elimination, it's also called linear combinations. It's addition subtraction method. And there's different levels of difficulty. The first problem, see how it's a negative 8x and a positive 8x? If you add, they cancel, and you get 4y minus 1y is 3y. And 4 plus 8 is 12, so y equals 4. Then you substitute it back into one of the equations. 8x minus 4 equals 4. 8x equals 8, x equals 1. You write your answers as ordered pairs always when you're solving a system of equations. So those are the easy ones where you just simply add or subtract to solve. Here's one where you have to multiply one of the equations so that the coefficients cancel. So I decided to multiply by 2 the top equation. The bottom equation does not change. The top equation is negative 4x minus 10y equals negative 48. So the 10y and the negative 10y cancel. And I get negative 14x equals negative 28, x equals 2. Then I substitute into the top equation the 2 that I just found. Two comma 4, and if you want, you can substitute into one or both of the equations to check to make sure that it works. And then the last one we're going to do is number 23, where you have to multiply both equations in order to get a coefficients that cancel out. So I'm going to eliminate the x's. So 6 and 4 have 12 in common. So if I multiply the top equation by 2 and the bottom equation by 3, we'll have 12x plus 8y equals negative 24. Negative 12x minus 21y equals negative 15. Those cancel. It's elimination. Negative 13y equals negative 39. Y equals 3. Then you substitute back in. 6x plus 4y is 3 equals negative 12. 6x plus 12 equals negative 12. 6x equals negative 24. X is negative 4. -4, 3, and you could substitute into the original equations to make sure that they come out correctly. So those are the kinds of problems that you'll be doing. They're due on Wednesday at 10 o'clock, and then we'll start quadratics. So it's important, please, that you stay on tune, stay up to date, especially if you want a grade raise. If you had a D or an F last semester and you complete everything that I ask you to do, then we can raise your grade up from a F to a D or from a D to a C. So that's important. I hope you're having a good day. Stay safe.